Welcome to another episode of Lifestyle After Five. We're here again for another Wednesday, and I'm here with my co-host MD Red and the lovely Danielle, aka the Crypt Keeper. Today we have a special treat for you all, especially if you are a business owner, if you own a McDonald's, a restaurant, or something. During COVID, people had a hard time finding employees. They say that people don't want to work. Well, our next guest has the solution to that problem. I want you all to welcome Mr. William and Emmanuel from Flexie. How you gentlemen doing?
Doing very well. Thank you for having us, Ali.
So, before we dive in, we want to remind our guests that we're on every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're also on YouTube where we do a live show every Wednesday on YouTube and Facebook. And that is at after5.com or on Facebook at after5. So let's dive in with these gentlemen from Flexi. So basically, from what I've done and doing my little research, this is a company that has made significant strides in the industry. You explore startup journey, development, motivations, and you also encourage and inspire other entrepreneurs. So we want to welcome you to the show and explain a
Thank
little
you.
bit of that.
Yeah, I guess I can start, Emmanuel, and then you can add up to it. Yeah. Thank you again for having us, Ali. So my name is William Ward. I'm the founder and CEO of Flexi. And what Flexi is, we are a future of work technology company, focusing more on the Gen Z audience. So focusing on job seekers between the ages of 16 to 24. Our vision is to help them get their first jobs and also to find their future career pathways. And so what we've done, we have built a technology platform that combines the gig economy and traditional work into one platform, built the infrastructure to manage gig work in the form of flexible shifts, where especially students and young adults who are busy with school and extracurricular activities, they can pick up shifts during their during their free time when they're not in school, or they can find a rewarding internship, apprenticeship, trade work, or full-time or part-time job right on the same platform. Now, what's unique about what we are building, apart from the target audience, we also provide them the ability to get instant pay. So they can get paid the same day after their shifts. And we found out that that motivates them. They come back, most of the time energized and working on their free time. So that's in a nutshell, that's what Flexi is all about.
That
Oh,
is
wow.
genius
That's
idea.
amazing.
I gotta ask, what made you dream of that? What brought
Right.
about that concept? I mean, because that is brilliant.
It
Right.
is.
Yeah. So Flexi, I think we're living our youth through Flexi. So both Emmanuel and I, we are first generation immigrants from Liberia, West Africa. So I came here as a teenager, transitioning from high school to college. I came to the U.S. And it was really tough juggling going to school and fending for myself. So many times I almost had the thought to choose between one, either go to school.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I couldn't because I had to fend for myself. So, and then with limited financial resources, it took me almost 5 years to complete a 2-year community college degree because of, that lack of flexibility, lack of resources. Fast forward today, a lot of the students, especially students in low income community, they have that same problem. Most of them after high school, they cannot afford to go to college. When they go to college, they drop out of college. The ones that
Right.
make it to college, they get a college degree that sometimes is worthless. And so they end up with dead end jobs. So Flexi is that tool that they can use to find work while they're in school, gain some experience, get the flexibility, including trade work, so that if they don't decide to go to college, they can live, um, meaningful lives and make livable income doing trade jobs. So all in one platform to help them enhance their lives.
Another thing I would like to add um, is Emmanuel. I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer. One thing we learned, the world is moving to a place where people have to understand where the unique skill sets are, right? What they enjoy most, what they don't enjoy most. And I think today we are programmed to say, oh, get a job, keep your head down and do your best work, and then everything will take care of itself. Now, one thing we preach at Flexie is that people should be able to test out different jobs to find out which job they can succeed in the most, and then probably decide if they want to make that a career. So that's another thing that we try. It's just as important to know what you want to do as much as what you don't want to do. So that's another thing about Flexi. It allows you to work in different industries. You can work in fast food, you can work in hospitality, you can work in manufacturing. But at the end of the day, you will be able to decide, you know what? Okay, I tried fast food, it didn't work for me. I tried hospitality, it didn't work for me. But I think maybe manufacturing or construction should probably be the place I want to go the most because we are unique and we have different skill sets. But unfortunately, what happens today is that we pick a career and then we just stay in that career. And then sometimes to do career change is so hard. But we're measurable, we stuck with those jobs. Unfortunately, it's hard to make a switch because, well, we took that job, that's all we have experience in. Flexi gave us the opportunity to test those different careers out and say, okay, this is where I want to take my career.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I had that growing up because, again, like what William said, you know, my grades started slacking because I had bills. So I had to work an 8 to 5, try to go to school at night, but I'm tired because I have to get back up and go back to work. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That y'all did that. I want to give you props for coming over here into this country as immigrants and finding your lane, which some people that's born and raised over here find it hard to do. So that's a big ups to y'all, man, and y'all helping out the youth. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
The instant pay is like the seller point, right? You know, it's hard with the generation now, and even us living paycheck to paycheck. You know, we need money, instant money right now. We have bills to pay. You know, going to work and thinking, okay, well, I get paid in 2 weeks. How am I going to stretch this paycheck out to meet my needs now? Get paid, and it's hard, and and I have a good job, but still, if you mismanage your money just a little bit, you're like, maybe I shouldn't went out to eat, and those $50 could have helped pay a bill instead of have going to happy hour with your friends because you want to that's great. Like as soon as you clock out, I saw your video on Instagram. Hands down, the best video ever. I sent it to Ali, and we're like, "Yo, this is brilliant." Awesome. Yeah, you check out, and you get your paycheck right there. The money falls into the inbox or whatever, and you have your $14.50 that you work for 8 hours. That's $100 or whatever it is. My math isn't that good.
Yeah, and what we're finding, even though we're targeting the younger audience, but we're finding that there are other cohort of users that find Flexi very useful, like sometimes single mothers or caregivers and stuff, right? And the thing that excites us the most is that some of these folks, they depend on Flexi to pay where they can stay for a night. Some of these folks are sleeping in motels and stuff, and they go to work. They take few shifts on Flexi during the day, and they're able to pay the motel bill for the night. Some of them, their phone is off, or they have to make rent, and they can work on Flexi to do that, right? So that is very rewarding.
My last job paid me once a month. You talk about tough and financial management.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to ask you guys, have you guys tried to push this on any of the college campuses?
Yeah, so that's the strategy we had, and that's the strategy we still have. But it's been sort of a challenge to kind of infiltrate the bureaucracy with these different
Mhm.
colleges and universities. But I think the revolution is still going to spread because high schoolers and college students, they
Yeah.
are using Flexi and they're referring their friends. Most of our growth right now, it's been based on word of mouth. Someone use Flexi and they tell their friend, and that friend tells the other friend. So, yeah.
Now, this is
I
this
might
is
quit my
something that's
job.
worldwide, or I mean, state, countrywide, or is it just in the region that you guys are in?
The ultimate goal is to be worldwide, but of course, we have to create a home turf, which
Hmm.
is I would say the entire East Coast is what we would consider a home turf. But
Okay.
then within the next year or two to be national, and then eventually we go global. Our case in point regarding global, we already have people in Nigeria that are actually on the platform. So we have 3 Nigerian flexers.
Okay.
So we already testing our market. Nothing formal yet, but it shows that it can work over there. But like we said, we have to first make sure that we protecting our home turf first before we try to
Correct.
expand outside the US.
Are you able to tell us what cities you're in right now? You currently working with, or
Yeah, we in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're based in Charlotte, North Carolina, so we are Charlotte-based tech company. We heavily expanding in Northern Virginia and the DMV area. The goal is that by next year, hopefully, to be all across the DMV and, if possible, push up to Pennsylvania. We also in Atlanta is not as heavy in Atlanta as compared to other city, but our goal is to start to get more traffic in the Atlanta area. Um, and yeah, I would say a little bit of traction in California as well. So we across the East Coast, but we're starting to tiptoes in the Midwest and other, promising market.
wow.
Sheesh.
Well, on your way. I mean, that's pretty good. You're hitting the major cities.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now, you mentioned that you faced some obstacles, and as you were trying to put it on the college campuses. What keeps you going as you battle and try to overcome these obstacles that you face as you're trying to grow Flexi?
Yeah. So, you know, uh, I know Flexi is going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to make a lot of money. But it's not that drives us. What drives us is the number of people that we can impact. And as we see that, daily, as we see, we are impacting young people, we are impacting single mothers, we are impacting people in transition. That keeps me going. So how many people we can impact, and also on the business side, right? So we're seeing that we are solving real problems for companies, especially companies that historically suffered from staffing issues. We're able to go in there. We're able to assess their issue. We're able to build a pool of talent that solve their problems. So, for example, Chick-fil-A was one of our first partners as we launched. We launched with a Chick-fil-A that was in the Charlotte arena here in North Carolina. Uh, Big games, events, they were struggling because they are kind of seasonal, and so they cannot keep like W-2 staff on their payroll. And so, partnering with Flexi, NBA season in a row, we were able to help them to become fully staffed and fill that staffing need. We see the same thing with McDonald's right now. We partner with a 12 franchise McDonald's that historically had staffing issues. Now we see that we are filling their shifts, oversubscribing their shifts, and we see that young people love it, and companies are benefiting. So these impact that we're making with Flexi, that keeps me going.
I would add to say our legacy. will be how many jobs we get. So we know this is going to succeed. There's no doubt. We truly believe in our vision, and that's why we came on this journey. But what we're going to be remembered for the most is that 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road, we want to be able to look back and say, hey, we get 10 million people jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the legacy. Then the next thing that helps us most, which is very rewarding, is looking at someone who never had a job in their life, picking up their first job on Flexie, going on to college, using Flexie to get a career, and buying their first home. What more can be more compelling than that? That's rewarding, that you literally took somebody from their first job all the way to their career job. So that's what motivates us. And then on the business side, the truth is that some business owner, they truly want to solve, for other problem other than just staffing. They want to create opportunities for people to move up and all of that. But the truth is that today that process is really archaic. So one of the things that we intend to do on Flexie is to be able to let people know that you don't only have to flip burgers at McDonald's. There are corporate jobs at McDonald's as well. You can be able to move up to McDonald's corporate. So this type of exposure will help people to understand there are other aspects of McDonald's and other restaurant companies, that people not exposed to, that they could be exposed to. And, there are a lot of high-paying jobs out there that most of the time we're not even aware of. So that type of impact, partnering with businesses to create that type of impact, I think it's extremely rewarding.
Absolutely.
It is. One thing I did want to ask you, felons, can you have a felony and work for Flexie?
I thought I'd ask you that.
Yeah, so we don't control that per se. We provide a technology platform, we provide the matching capabilities, and we build the tools around all of that. Is the company's preference. So some companies would work with felons that have like specific records, and some is like a red line. They don't deal with it. But we've seen companies that have been open to hiring felons.
And that's going to be real key, especially in Maryland, because I think the governor of Westmoreland, he freed something like, I don't know, 100,000 or so with marijuana convictions that he let out. That's going to be out in the market looking for jobs.
Yeah, he pardoned. Yeah, he pardoned. Westmore pardoned. Yeah, it's about that. 100-something thousand people that had small marijuana charges.
Nice.
But if he pardoned, doesn't that drop the felony charges though?
I think it should.
Yeah.
If he got pardoned, I think it should drop.
Maybe. You never know.
I know they said it'd take a few years for it to come off your record. It's not going to be instant, but that's a good question. Do you all offer any benefits or is it flexors? What do you call them?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So
it's a new term.
Flexors, right.
I pay attention.
Yeah, so we offer what is considered the workers' comp equivalent of the gig economy, OAI insurance. OAI stands for Occupational Accidental Insurance. So every flexor on the platform is covered up to $1 million in case they get injured, dismember a body part on the platform, or those types of things. Sooner rather than later, we will also introduce telemedicine, so that the flexors without insurance will have access to to see doctors virtually, and if it's a serious condition, it will be able to go into the hospitals and stuff, or at very low cost.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's a real game changer.
It is.
Yeah.
It really
I'm
is.
sitting here and I'm listening to y'all, man.
The
possibilities of this is limitless. So are you guys like public now, or y'all like if somebody how do I become part of Flexie? Like, I want to buy some stock, just listen to y'all right now.
Yeah, so we're still in startup phase. We are almost 3 years into it. we had to pivot once. We started as a different company. It was called petty gigs, like small jobs, right? So petty gigs would be what you call, if you're familiar with TaxRabbit. So TaxRabbit made Robinhood. That's what we created with petty gigs. And we had it such that kids were able to find small jobs in their neighborhood. And also, when they make money, they were able to do fractional investing right on the platform. So we built the technology for that. We were able to amass over 15,000 signups with petty gigs. However, people were not putting in enough jobs. And so we pivoted to start to servicing companies. And so we just launched our platform, the technology platform, December of last year, after doing like a year of trial customer discovery, and so we're just now hitting the tip of the expert with that. One thing in terms of benefits that I would like to highlight, so Flexi is not all about jobs. The entire team is driven by social economic mobility. And so we are going to put a financial literacy component of it on top of it, so that when young people make money on Flexi, they are able to learn how to manage their money, how to save and invest, and and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, it's about to
Now
take
break that
off.
down. Break that down. Now you used a big word. Now break that down for some of the audience that may not know. You said you're more than just about jobs. You're more about developing the social economics of flexors.
Right.
If you can explain that a little bit more.
Right. So our vision is to allow everyone to live the American dream. Okay. So our vision is to make it possible so that people transcend from poverty to middle class, right? So how do you do that? You get meaningful jobs. You have the ability to save and invest. You have the ability to manage your money so that you're not living from paycheck to paycheck, so that you're not in like a circle of poverty. We find that's the problem with the U.S. today, especially within low-income communities. These folks go to college, but they get stuck with student loan debt. They get degrees that they cannot use. They go to college and become worse off economically than they were before college, right? So, but some of them, I mean, not everybody wants to go to college. So how can we find meaningful trade jobs that, you can learn a trade, get out of high school, get a rewarding apprenticeship with like a bank or engineering company, come out and form your own business because you learned that trade. And, how can you have access to key resources that will help you to manage and save and grow your money? So that's what Flexi is all about in the long run.
I'll also like to add, the telemedicine came in because what we realized that most of the folks we targeted, half of them on their parents' insurance right now. When they leave their parents' insurance, unfortunately, they don't have insurance. So most gig workers don't have insurance. They are left to vent for themselves. And it's like a whole generation that's just sitting there pretty much without any insurance. Yeah. And what that leads to, it leads to higher, of course, health bill, because guess what? These people have to literally run to the emergency room for everything because they're not having regular visits. So that's one of the reasons why we chose to add the telemedicine, to say, hey, we can't just provide jobs. We also have to be able to take care of these folks, and health is wealth. Yeah. So the telemedicine will allow people to go see the doctor on their own terms. They'll be able to buy a prescription. They'll be able to do all the different stuff that today they probably won't be able to do because they're no longer on their parents' insurance. So we technically want to bring the humanity back to the whole hiring process, where we can be able to take care of the workers. It can't just be one-sided. So all of that is what driving Flexi.
when he was talking about this, what comes to mind that I can see a great use to this is the retirement community. I know that there's a lot of people that have retired from jobs thinking that they're ready after doing 30 and 40 years, and they on this fixed income, and Social Security is only so much, but inflation since just 2019 has more than doubled. You know, there's no more dollar menus out there. So I can see people that have retired and the money's running out that usually run out there and try to do odd jobs that can now come to Flexi and pick a shift up, you know, maybe to buy, put some food on the table or to help pay the mortgage or, you know,
Found
put some
something
gas
else.
in
Yeah.
the car. Yeah. So I could definitely see that as well.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's exactly what's already happening. We actually have retirees on the platform that's using Flexi. We gear towards the younger demographic, but the platform is open to everyone, right? And we already have seen those use cases.
Awesome.
Is Flexi, let me see how to say this. Is Flexi more of a short-term business objective for somebody, or can it be long-term? Does that make sense? I've been working all day, so I can't think. Can they take Flexi and use it as a long-term for years, or is it almost like these are your stepping stones to take, you know, if you want to try out McDonald's, you want to try out the manufacturing industry, or can somebody actually be a long-term flexer?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So our goal is to make people lifers on the Flexi platform, right? So we have two components of Flexi. One is the flexible work opportunity, where people can get started. People can work on their own terms, work based on their lifestyle. There's also the pathways option for Flexi. The pathways option is transitioning them from getting key core skill set with the restaurants and these other companies, and then going to get like their first career-based job, or transitioning to them to where they become freelancers or business owners and stuff like that. So it's a long term kind of opportunity for Flexi. I mean, for people in general. So if you kind of see it, the workforce is aging, right? You have a lot of people are retiring, and then it leaves like a big skill gap, right? So Flexi wants to be one of the companies that steps in and help to fill that skill gap. So we start early and work people to where now they have skilled opportunity for the future.
Oh, amazing.
You know, me coming from the aerospace and defense industry, I know guys who that's how they live, basically contract to contract. So Flexi would really play a good role, especially if you start to grow and you get into aerospace, and especially when you look into aircraft maintenance and repair, where I know guys that, you know, they may go work in Lake Charles, Louisiana on a contract for 4 months, and then they may hop over to Atlanta for the next 6 months, and then, you know, they may be in the Pax River for another year, 8 months to a year, and then they may be overseas. So I definitely like the direction that this is going in.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ali, we share something in common. I worked with United Technologies for a while, and then Honeywell, both companies in that aerospace and defense space.
Okay, good. So yeah, so you understand what I'm talking about, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And y'all both are in the Charlotte area, so y'all got to hang out.
We
That's
do. We
awesome.
must sit down and do this in person.
Yeah, I don't hear nothing but good things, man. Like I said, I want to be a part.
Welcome on board, my shot.
Appreciate it.
Now we got to find somebody to work at my funeral home. Help me out. Can we go into business? Think we can find some?
I don't know if you can. That'd be a good thing. I don't know if you can get Flexi for a funeral. People, well, no, you might be able to get people to get those gigs that you want to get those Flexi and pick up bodies in the middle of the night and come drive on Sundays.
Yeah, flex that casket in the hearse. I don't care how you do it.
I think Flexi solve a lot of use cases.
Yeah.
The truth is that you can even use the platform to post regular jobs and you can post flex jobs. So it's not like the platform only geared towards flexible shift. The only reason why we really seeing a lot of traffic with the flexible shift is because the younger generation, that's all they're about. You know, they want the flexibility, they want the instant pay. So we're seeing a lot of traffic there, but the platform even support volunteer opportunity. So you can post volunteer, you can post part-time, full-time, apprenticeship, internship, and flexible shift. So the infrastructure is built to support any job-related opportunity.
So what's the turnaround time from a business owner inquiring about Flexie to the time that they're on the platform?
They can go as fast as they want and as slow as they want. Right. So bigger, more established businesses that have, like tedious procurement processes might take about 30 days, but like a regular small business, it might take about a week or so to get onboarded to Flexie. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I'm curious. So now here I am. I want to become a flexer. So I go onto your site or your app or whatever, and I sign up. Is there a fee for me to be a flexer?
No, it's free for you to be a flexer. Apart from small fees that you pay, for example, if you needed your money right away with instant pay. Similarly to things like Cash App or Venmo, where you have to pay like a small fee if you want your money right away. We do assess a small 2.5% fee for you to get immediate access to your money. And then also we take directly from their hourly pay the OAI insurance. So that is a must, to keep them covered and to keep the companies out of liability. We have to maintain the OAI coverage, and so it costs like $1 per hour. So if you work 4 hours, we take like $4 from your pay to cover the coverage. Apart from that, you get full access to whatever the company costs we pay. We don't take any percentage from their paycheck.
Now, are state and federal taxes taken out of the check, the pay?
So the flexers are 1099 contractors. The integrated digital wallet that we have takes care of all of their tax documentation. So we do mail them their 1099 at the end of the year based on what they work on.
For the younger generation, so warning to the younger generation, take all your flexi money and make sure you take a percentage out for them taxes, because when you get that 1099, the IRS will come for you.
Are there any repercussions for a flexer that does not show up for a shift, or is there like 3 shifts you're gone, or we're disabling your account? How do y'all handle that when somebody's hungover or whatever and they just like, I don't feel like going to work, but I signed up yesterday to work a 6 to 9 shift?
So we have what we call the Flexi Reliability School, or the Flexi School. It's a building algorithm that accounts for the amount of time you're showing up, how many shifts you completed, your reliability, your performance, and companies even have the opportunity to rate the flexors. So it's not like, if you don't show up today, then there's a repercussion, but your score will get impacted if you don't show up. And over time, that score will decrease to the point that it will show that you're unreliable. So now when a company comes looking for you, that score is there that Danielle is unreliable. So it makes it difficult for you to get the next opportunity. And we did it that way because we wanted to be very objective of holding people accountable. So that way it's not just all one and done. It's accumulative, but most importantly, you will be able to see your reliability score as well to know when it's going down. And you can probably, pick up the slack and improve your score, or you can just let it slide down and then you will have yourself to blame. But we have that accountability.
And there's also a reward for those who maintain a high reliability score. So using AI, we have the auto acceptance feature. So the higher your score, when you apply to jobs if you have a high school at a certain threshold, a certain amount of jobs you've done. Um, Companies do not have to accept you. You get automatically accepted because you have maintained a high reliability score. And then those who don't maintain high reliability score, they go to the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, okay.
Is there any type of training involved? Like just say I'm a flexor now and McDonald's needs somebody to fry some Big Macs up tomorrow. I barely can boil water, but I want this shift. So I get in there and I'm like, oh, McDonald's got a shift and they need me to fry some burgers up tomorrow. I'm going to take this shift. So I come in there and I'm shift ready, but I don't know how to cook.
Yeah. So what we see right now is that the companies that use Flexi, they usually start, especially the flexors without experience, they start them with like the very low skill jobs that don't require a lot of training. And as they accumulate hours on the platform, they move up to more complex operations. And they will swap their more skilled people to do the skill work. And then if a flexor is very new, they will start from, those types of jobs. That's what we have right now, but we also are going to have like training components that people like will watch training videos and answer questions and get pre-certified before they start shifts. That's another feature that we're breaking on the platform eventually.
Another angle I would like to add that Flexi is essential for is the cultural type. You could come in with a lot of experience and not be a good fit for my culture.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else could come with no experience, but they have the right attitude, right personality, they're willing to learn. So what Flexi allows a company to do is to be able to test the experienced person out and the non-experienced person and decide who's a better cultural fit. So it's not just always, because I know we put a lot of emphasis on experience, but we all professionals and we have come to realize that sometimes having an experience is just one component of it, right? After we have experience and come with a bad attitude. Now with Flexi, you'll be able to even test the person out who does not have the experience but have the right attitude and say, okay, yeah, this person might not be able to cook a burger, but he's really good with customer service. So I think over time, I can probably be able to train him and he will be a good fit for my company. And in in a converse way, that person too can even check out and say, okay, this is a company I want to work for. So I think that get ignored a lot. I want to bring that up because I'm seeing that we have seen some kids who didn't have no experience come in and Chick-fil-A hire them because they had really great personality.
Oh, wow.
I laugh because this is kind of like when he was explaining the process of working your way up. I can kind of see like the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy as you literally start off mopping floors and then you work your way up to the grill. I can literally see that happening. Now, are there any like hard, well, I would say HR things that will get you kicked off the platform? Like you walk in, you take a flexi job and you just, for whatever reason, you just punch a customer or do something. Is there anything that just gets you chopped completely off the platform?
Yeah, so we also have a feature where companies can ban folks. And if a company ban you, they can either, so companies that have multiple locations, they can ban you from like one location and allow you to work at other location. But if you do something that is severe, they can ban you from all of their locations. So yeah, so
Okay.
that feature is on there as well.
But two, is there any judgment in that? Because it could be a situation where you didn't do anything egregious, but you and a manager just didn't get along, and so they want to just to be low down. They don't like you at this locations, but they want to blackball you from all other locations.
Yeah, unfortunately, like since we are a technology company, we're providing technology. We don't like to get into that aspect of it. We don't like to get into the aspect of it. So we, first of all, these guys are independent contractors that work on Flexi, and we don't want to control the company's policy. Again, we provide the platform and have that match and we provide all of the tools. But policy related issues, we don't like really get into it.
I mean, that's understandable too. It's something that have to be juggled with each company.
Right. But on the flip side of that, the flexors have the ability to rate companies just as they have the ability to rate flexors. So, as Emmanuel alluded earlier, just as they are watching the flexors are watching them. And flexors can, put feedback out there too that other flexors will see.
I'll also add real quick, William, on our end, we can't get into policy, but I think one thing we're intentional about who we work with too, right? So if you really someone, if you're a company that really not big on people and you're really not willing to invest in your people and take people seriously, we don't have to necessarily work with you because part of the business we in is to actually help people to, move up the ladder. And if you're one of those companies that probably don't have good people practices, then we will have to probably consider if we want to continue doing business with you. So all of that is what we can do in our week where we can't tell people how to run their company, but we also have the power to decide if we want to do business with them.
But at the end of the day, they need you guys, right? So they came to the table needing help. So it's them ruining the relationship, and they're going to go back to square one of trying to figure out how to maintain personnel and keeping their employees happy and trying to find people to cover shifts.
Right.
So don't burn the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here to help you. Like, calm down.
We found workers for you that a lot of companies are searching for.
Right.
Now I know you mentioned that your goal is to reach as you grow and expand the company, that you want it to be eventually worldwide. As you say, you've done some what do you say, Nigeria? You've tested Flexie in the Nigeria region as well as across the United States. I can even see, I'm just going to throw a nugget out there, maybe even Flexi relationships. Some people might need a boyfriend or a date or something for a weekend or two. You might want to sign up. It's like, hey, I'm going out with my girls in town. I need a man, or my boys. I need a girlfriend or date or wife or whatever. Let me call Flexi up and see if you can flex me a boyfriend or a husband, for the weekend.
So this podcast has gone too serious. This normally we're laughing. I was waiting for him to come in and throw a wrench in the, we were getting too serious. Yeah, I was waiting for it. It was bound to happen.
I needed that.
Yeah. No, actually, I mean, dating apps are they? I mean, never mind, no comment. But go ahead. You can answer, or you can mute his mic, whatever.
Oh, you can answer that. I'll plead the fifth.
Let's just say, for now, we'll just stick to the jobs part of it, and yeah, that's something to consider down the line.
Maybe them working, they'll find their future husband or wife coming into.
Flexi would be the nice combo package because they're working, because Flexi will verify, hey, this is guy, he's Flex verified. He has some type of employment through Flexi, and now we sending him with you. So you don't have to do half of the research.
And you can see his reliability score to see how
exactly. You can see his reliability score with other women.
Right.
You laugh, but we're on to something.
They get that instant pay, so they're gonna get paid by the time y'all go on a date. Like, I'm getting off with that money in that account. All right, where we going? Cheesecake Factory.
I think I think the use case I can see right now that happening though, because we've seen this already with family members. So we've seen sisters, we've seen husband and wife work on Flexi together. We already seen that. So I can see a use case wherein the girlfriend said, hey, I can't see you today, but I'm picking up this shift. If you want to see me, come pick up a shift with me.
Right. That's what
I can see that use case where, say, hey, if you really want to come, you really want to see me, come work this shift with me,
Right, so right. They got a 9:30 to 12. I'll be there at that time.
I can see that happening because we already have a husband and wife who actually work on the platform together.
Oh, wow. This is like exciting. Even to see minorities, creating residual income, you know what I mean? Like stepping out. And the problem with us African Americans you know, we can say blacks, we're scared to take that leap. We're scared to see where the future is going to go. We don't want to jump out of that circle because we don't know what's going to happen outside the circle. So we're going to just stay here. We're going to sit in our beds. We're going to sit at our computer. And we're going to think about us, you know, creating this business, but we don't know how to implement. And to see you guys create something that is going to take off and it's going to be on billboards on 495 and wherever highway in Charlotte and Atlanta. Yes. And just to know that, you know, we have you on this podcast before you blow up. It's going, y'all are going to go far. I already know it. And I've known E forever. And I remember him talking about, you know, the startup of petty gigs. I'm like, yo, that's amazing. And then to talk to him like, oh yeah, we changed it to a flexi. And I'm like, tell me about it. And I'm just like, wow. Yeah. Wow. Like, it's so exciting just to even see where you started 3 years ago and to see where you're at now. And we're talking about, you know, I remember when you're just in Charlotte in Chick-fil-A, you know, and now McDonald's in Fredericksburg. I'm proud of you guys. I really am, from the bottom of my heart.
And you hit a real key point, because a lot of blacks, especially in the U.S., we think of businesses, but a lot of us don't think with a corporate mind. We don't think about collaborating and building corporations. So I do want to applaud you all for that. That, you know, that is excellent what you're doing, and you are giving back not just to your community, but you're helping a lot of people across countries be able to eat and feed their families and be a part of the movement that you are creating.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And the journey has been, you know, tedious journey. And I guess that's what makes a lot of people throw in the tower. But I think the key for us is let the passion, you know, drive you and stick to it. You know, change if you have to. You're not married to the product. You're not married to the process. You're married to the vision. So as long as that vision is what drives you, you know, just keep going.
You know, especially if you move into bigger jobs like project management and different stuff, because a lot of us, we don't get picked up for, you know, a lot of those jobs in these companies, and a lot of us as people of color, you know, we're in these jobs and we're getting stressed out and they don't really want us, they don't really like us, but we don't know where to go. And so we have to sit there and we have to put up with a lot of stuff, and we are, you know, blood pressure high, nerves are just shot, and we're drinking excessively because we don't know what else to do. This job has been, especially in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, your job is most people's life, their title. They identify themselves by their job, you know. Right. First thing it is, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I am this. I'm an engineer, or, you know, I work for the government, or this or that. And if they get, you know, heaven forbid, they lose their job, get laid off for whatever reason, a lot of them don't know what to do. So
I want to use this opportunity to really applaud William. William is the one who really took a chance on himself, and that ignited the fire in every one of us on the team now, right? 3 years ago, he took that bet. And like you said, for me, before I even joined the Flexi team, I actually invested in a company. And the reason why I invested, I told him, I was like, I've never seen someone that looked like me, talk like me, even take that leap of faith to say, you know, I believe in myself enough that I will walk away from a 6-figure job and go build something of my own. And like you said, you know, because we're not programmed that way. We're programmed to say, hey, get a job, be grateful you get a job, work hard, and, you know, you retire and you don't have to ask for nothing more, you know. But I was very impressed by someone who, like I say, just as young as I am, was saying, you know what, there's more to life, you know. I have to do something, you know, that drives me. And yeah, so that's how I actually invested in a company early on. And then over time, I just, you know, I was actually doing some stuff with Danielle at the time. And then once we completed that, I came to William and say, you know what, the opportunity you approached me with, I think I'm ready. And that's how ever since then I joined the team. But because I was really impressed that someone, like I said, similar to me was trying to like build this unique thing. And I kept asking myself, you know, why wouldn't I be a part of something this special? You know, this is a lifetime opportunity, but all happened because he was willing to take a leap of faith on himself. So I applaud him for that.
Yeah.
And I think we spoke about this earlier. What we find in this journey is that a lot of us go the nonprofit route is because the nonprofit route is all we have to do is beg for donor, right? Not the nonprofit. But we have seen people building for-profit business and running it as nonprofit. And we're like, why are you not doing this for profit? And they're like, oh, it's easy for me to get the grant that way. Yeah, it might be difficult to build a corporation, but guess what? If we build more corporation, then guess what? We'll probably be able to help each other out more. There will be more economic mobility, right? There will be more generational wealth and all the other stuff that we talk about.
But we're, as a nation, we need it right now. We don't want to wait. Nobody wants to wait for anything. We don't want to wait for, like you said, and sit down and just be patient for a few years for your business to excel. Again, I need that $1,000 right now. I need that $1,500 grant. So again, I'm going nonprofit because I don't want to wait and I don't want to put out the monies ahead of time and I need it back right now. So we're just, everything is instant and it's like I need it right now, but nobody wants to sit down and just be patient and just wait for it to flourish.
Yeah, because we don't play the long game, we play the short game.
Yeah. But the problem I have with that is that there are other races that are playing the long game though. Even though as a nation we having that issue, there are other communities that are still playing the long game. So I think it's more of like just starting to educate our people more on the opportunities that exist, even when it comes to investing, right? If you invest in a startup, the possibility of you building generational wealth is faster than you taking your money and going to play the lottery.
Right.
It's a different type of gamble, but that's a gamble that could probably help you build generational wealth.
Correct.
You see people go and play the lottery, but then they miss out on investing on a startup, right? But so those are the kind of education that probably needs to happen.
And it starts at home, right? So if your parents don't know and their parents don't know, they can't come back and teach you anything. You don't know where to start. And that's our problem as a race. We don't want to. Go ahead.
I say it starts with you. You got to be the person that breaks it.
Yeah. And go on podcasts and, do these interviews for the community so they can listen, they can hear that, we struggled too, but this is what we did. It might not work the same direction or how it worked out for us, but give it a try. I'm big on stepping out. And if it doesn't work, at least you tried.
Yeah, you got to try.
I'm really hoping that our HBCUs is listening and willing to pour like the Silicon Valleys, like the Harvard grads, the MITs and Zuckerbergs and all that, those colleges give money to these people to start up and to help them out. So HBCUs, Qs, Alphas, Kappas, Sigmas, what's his name? Iotas, AKAs, Deltas, Zetas, Masons, Shriners, Eastern Stars. Hey, it's your time to step up, Bark, do what you do, help them out. Flexie, remember this.
Yeah.
It's definitely trending up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just think about it. If you could go to a HBCU, get your Black education, and then there's a Black corporation waiting for you after you graduate. Think how awesome that would be.
Yeah.
It's too big for them to realize.
Right.
But it's possible.
Right.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah. So as we're coming to an end, what are some ways that people can sign up for Go Flexie? Is it an app? You're on Google? I'm an iPhone girl, so Apple or what's it called? Oh, App Store. How can they find your app? Or how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so Flexie is both on the Play Store and the App Store. So just do a search for Flexie, and you can find the app, or just go on the website. It's goflexie.com, and you can get to the app from there as well. And then also we're on all major social media channel. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook. At Go Flexie.
And they just posted a video a reel yesterday of a girl walking through the steps of the process of being a flexer, and it's amazing. So if you're listening, go find it on Instagram and watch it. It will inspire you to, if you don't have a job, to get on and sign up.
Yeah, I also like to talk to the business owners. If you're out there and you're struggling with staff, check Flexie out, especially in a restaurant space, quick service restaurant. We have done it with Chick-fil-A. We have done it with McDonald. We have proven this can work. So please feel free to contact us. We'll be happy to help you, not just hire folks, but be able to retain folks, because the beauty of Flexie is that it allows you to tap into other demographic, so that way you don't burn out your staff, right? So please feel free to reach out. You can either reach out through the goflexie.com email, or you can reach out directly to us, William@goflexie.com or Emmanuel@goflexie.com.
Now, you kind of said that nonchalantly, like we got Chick-fil-A. I just want to remind people, getting a Chick-fil-A work contract and staffing a Chick-fil-A is not the norm. You're talking the cream of the crop when it comes to customer service. Chick-fil-A is very picky. They're not your average everyday. I mean, you just can't walk in Chick-fil-A. Hey, I'm here. I'm Doug. I'm here to work for Chick-fil-A. I got this. It's this job. No. You got to come correct. You got to come correct. Take care of your customers and say my pleasure when you're done. It's my pleasure every time. So, Chick-fil-A, I don't think no one would doubt or disagree that Chick-fil-A is the cream of the crop when it comes to fast food and the A standard.
Right. And that's why we were intentional about the partnership. So we intentionally started with Chick-fil-A, and that kind of inspired most of the tools, the bells and whistles we built into the technology. Yep.
It definitely, because I'm like, for me, if you come to me and you say, hey, I got a Chick-fil-A contract, I mean, drop the mic. There's no more to be said.
And we just, the good thing is that we, like you said, we just didn't get that contract, but we impressed them enough that they even hired some of the folks off the platform. They came to us and say, hey, we want this person to work for us. And, that shows that we getting quality people on the platform as well.
And even left a testimonial on our website. So if you go on, you're gonna see that testimonial from a Chick-fil-A owner operator.
Now, is it a time period before that they have to work for GoFlex before they switch over and go permanent?
So it depends on the company. We've seen companies work with flexers for a week and we have to have them. And
wow, that fast.
Yeah, so it really depends on the company and the quality of service that the flexer provides.
Flexing may be your way into the door of a lot of companies. I really like what I see here. Yeah. This is definitely the future of hiring and the way to go, especially with the new gig economy and Gen Z.
Yeah,
that likes the flexibility. Yeah. I want everybody to remember that you've seen it here first on Lifestyle After 5. They had the conversation here before you see them on billboards and on Wall Street and on the S&P 500. And we definitely want to thank you guys for coming on here and sharing your journey and your story with Lifestyle After 5. You could have chose anybody else or any other platform, so we don't take that lightly, and we do appreciate that you took the time to come, thought enough to share your story with us and inspire our listeners.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Ali and team. Thank you for having us. It has been a pleasure.
We definitely enjoyed the conversation, man. It was good.
I'm proud.
Always.
That's my friend, guys.
And you guys are definitely welcome on our platform. Oh, thank you. And you guys are definitely welcome on any platform that we have at any time. Just get in touch with us and say, hey, we got something we want to say. We want to put something out there, and we'll make it happen.
And
that's awesome. Yeah.
And it'll be on the radio in Atlanta area.
That's why
WDJY 99.1, Dallas, Georgia.
That's awesome. Why I want to say this, we need to get some traffic in the Atlanta area. So we already have folks there. We already have flexers there already. So any kind of spotlight or publicity that you guys can afford us, we will be happy to take advantage of it, because it's one area that we feel that we need to serve.
Oh, definitely.
We would definitely be sharing the word, and I will personally be talking to people about the program and about the app that you have.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Give a welcome to Flexie. And as always, you guys know you can catch us at www.ollieafter5.com. You can get all our merchandise, our gear, and you can check our lives out on our website as well as you can catch us on YouTube at Lifestyle After 5, and the same thing, Lifestyle 925 on X, as well as you can catch us on TikTok. Until next week, y'all be safe, and we'll catch you on another episode.